Now, thousands of everyday food products found in American homes are now at the center of a major safety scare.
Rodent droppings, salmonella, and lead that can leach into your food. These are just some of the reasons for the massive kitchen and pantry recalls of January 2026. In the last month, major brands sold at Walmart, Target, and grocery stores across America have been pulled from shelves for everything from undeclared allergens to deadly bacteria. Brands you trust, brands you buy for your family, brands that failed basic safety standards. Today, we're counting down the 10 biggest kitchen and pantry recalls for January 2026 and revealing what you need to know to keep your family safe. Starting with number 10, Gerber Arrowroot Biscuits. On January 26, 2026, Gerber, a name synonymous with baby food and trusted by millions of parents, issued a voluntary recall for its arrowroot biscuits. The reason? The potential presence of soft plastic and paper pieces in the biscuits. The contamination originated from a flour supplier, and while Gerber has since severed ties with them, the incident sends a chill down the spine of any parent. Imagine feeding your child a seemingly harmless snack, only to find out it could contain foreign materials. The recall was nationwide, and although no illnesses were reported, the mere possibility is a nightmare for any caregiver. This isn't just a quality control issue, it's a breach of the sacred trust between a brand and the families who rely on it to provide safe and nutritious food for their little ones. The incident serves as a stark reminder that even the most reputable brands can fall victim to supply chain failures, and that vigilance is always necessary, especially when it comes to the most vulnerable members of our families. The recall was for a specific batch of the biscuits, but the damage to the brand's reputation is immeasurable. How can a company that specializes in baby food allow such a thing to happen? The FDA is investigating the incident, but for many parents, the trust is already broken. This recall is a wake-up call to all parents to be extra vigilant about the food they give their children. The long-term effects of ingesting plastic and paper are not fully known, but the potential for harm is undeniable. This recall is a stark reminder that we can never be too careful when it comes to the food we feed our children. The company has stated that they are taking this matter very seriously and are working to ensure that it never happens again. But for many parents, the question remains, how can we be sure? This incident has led to a class action lawsuit against Gerber, with parents alleging that the company was negligent in its quality control measures. The lawsuit is still in its early stages, but it could have major implications for the baby food industry as a whole. And that disturbing thought leads us to our next recall, which involves a popular healthy treat. Number 9. Spring and Mulberry Chocolate Bars. On January 14, 2026, the dream of a guilt-free indulgence turned into a potential nightmare when Spring and Mulberry recalled several of its artisanal chocolate bars due to possible salmonella contamination. These weren't your average candy bars. They were premium products sold at high-end retailers like Whole Foods and on Amazon, marketed to health-conscious consumers. The irony is bitter. A product you buy to treat yourself, to enjoy a moment of wholesome pleasure, could be laced with a dangerous bacteria. Salmonella can cause serious and sometimes fatal infections, especially in young children, the elderly, and those with weakened immune systems. The contamination was discovered during routine testing, and while no illnesses were reported, it's a jarring reminder that a high price tag and fancy packaging are no guarantee of safety. This recall exposes the dark side of the wellness industry, where the quest for clean ingredients can sometimes lead to dangerous oversights. The company has since issued a statement saying that they are working with the FDA to investigate the source of the contamination, but for many consumers, the damage is already done. This recall is a reminder that we need to be critical of the marketing claims of so-called healthy brands and to be aware of the potential risks associated with all food products, no matter how wholesome they may seem. The fact that this happened at a brand sold at Whole Foods, a store that many people trust for its high standards, is particularly concerning. It shows that no retailer is immune to these kinds of problems. The recall is a reminder that we need to be our own advocates when it comes to food safety. This incident has also led to a number of lawsuits against Spring and Mulberry, with consumers alleging that the company was negligent in its food safety practices. The lawsuits are still ongoing, but they could have a major impact on the company's future. But a potential threat is one thing. Our next recall involves a confirmed deadly bacteria. Number 8. A mysterious cheese recall. On January 13, 2026, an unnamed cheese product was the subject of a Class 1 recall by the FDA, the most serious classification, reserved for situations where there is a reasonable probability that the use of or exposure to a violative product will cause serious adverse health consequences or death. The culprit? Listeria, a particularly nasty bacterium that can cause a life-threatening infection called listeriosis. What makes this recall even more unsettling is the lack of information. The FDA did not immediately release the brand name or the type of cheese, leaving consumers in the dark. Imagine the fear of not knowing if that block of cheese in your refrigerator, the one you've been grating over your pasta or slicing for your sandwiches, could be a ticking time bomb. Listeria is especially dangerous for pregnant women, as it can lead to miscarriage, stillbirth, premature delivery, or life-threatening infection of the newborn. The fact that the FDA deemed this situation so severe as to warrant a Class 1 recall speaks volumes about the potential danger lurking in an everyday food item. The lack of transparency in this case is also a major concern. Why wasn't the brand name released? Were they trying to protect the company? These are questions that need to be answered. This recall is a chilling reminder that we are often at the mercy of the food industry and the government agencies that are supposed to protect us. The silence from the FDA is deafening, and it leaves consumers feeling vulnerable and powerless. This recall is a stark reminder that we need to demand more transparency from the food industry and the government agencies that regulate it. The public has a right to know what products are being recalled and why. The fact that the FDA is withholding this information is a major betrayal of the public trust. If you're finding this information valuable, hit that subscribe button for more in-depth food safety investigations, and let us know in the comments, have you ever been affected by a food recall? Number 7. Susanna's Kitchen Grilled Chicken. On January 16, 2026, the convenience of a pre-cooked meal was called into question when Susanna's Kitchen recalled a staggering 13,720 pounds of its ready-to-eat grilled chicken breast fillets. While the specific reason for the recall wasn't immediately disclosed, the sheer volume of the product pulled from the market is a major cause for concern. This is a product designed for busy families, for people looking for a quick and easy meal solution. The idea that such a large quantity of a product that is meant to be eaten without further cooking could be compromised is terrifying. It highlights the risk associated with mass-produced processed foods and the potential for widespread contamination when something goes wrong in the production chain. The company has since released a statement saying that the recall was due to a potential processing defect, but they have not provided any further details. This lack of transparency is unacceptable. Consumers have a right to know what went wrong and what the company is doing to prevent it from happening again. This recall is a wake-up call to be more mindful of the pre-packaged foods we buy and to demand more transparency from the companies that produce them. The fact that the company is being so secretive about the reason for the recall is a major red flag. It makes you wonder what they're trying to hide. This recall is a reminder that we need to be our own advocates when it comes to food safety. The company's silence is a slap in the face to the consumers who have put their trust in them, and the problems with prepackaged foods don't stop there. Number 6. IKM Cookware. On January 23, 2026, a chilling reminder that the danger isn't always in the food itself came in the form of a recall for 4 cookware items from IKM. The reason? The products contained significant levels of lead, a potent neurotoxin that could leach into food during cooking. Lead is especially dangerous for children, as it can cause irreversible developmental damage. The thought of unknowingly poisoning your family with every meal you cook is the stuff of nightmares. This recall is a wake-up call to be mindful of not just what we eat, but what we cook with. It exposes a hidden danger that could be lurking in our kitchens, turning the heart of the home into a source of toxic exposure. The company has since issued a recall for the affected products, but the damage may have already been done. How many families have been using these toxic pots and pans, unaware of the danger they were putting themselves in? This recall is a reminder that we need to be more critical of the products we bring into our homes, and to demand stricter regulations on the materials used in cookware. The fact that these products were sold on major online retailers like Amazon makes it even more concerning. It shows that even the most trusted retailers can be a source of dangerous products. This recall is a reminder that we need to be vigilant about the products we buy and to do our own research to ensure that they are safe. The company has since been fined by the CPSC, but for many families, the damage is already done. But the lead in our cookware is nothing compared to the cocktail of contaminants in our next recall. Number 5. A toxic medley of protein powder, cookie dough, and ground beef. On January 13, 2026, A series of recalls painted a grim picture of the food industry, with a variety of products pulled from shelves for a horrifying mix of contaminants. Protein powders, sausages, cookie dough, and ground beef were all recalled for risks including Salmonella, E. coli, and other microbial contamination. This wasn't a single incident, but a cluster of them, suggesting a systemic problem. It's a stark reminder that from the gym to the dinner table, the foods we rely on for sustenance and pleasure can be a minefield of invisible threats. The sheer diversity of the products involved is what makes this so alarming. It's not just one category of food, but a cross-section of the modern diet, all found to be dangerously contaminated. The recalls were issued by a number of different companies, which suggests that the problem is not isolated to a single producer. This is a systemic failure of the food safety system, and it's a problem that needs to be addressed at the highest levels. This recall is a wake-up call to all consumers to be more aware of the risks associated with processed foods and to demand more from the companies that produce them. The fact that so many different products were recalled on the same day is a major red flag. It suggests that there is a serious problem with the way our food is being produced and regulated. This recall is a reminder that we need to be our own advocates when it comes to food safety. The companies involved have since issued apologies and have promised to improve their food safety practices, but for many consumers, the trust has been broken. If this video is making you rethink your grocery list, hit that like button and share it with someone you care about. Number 4. The dark side of superfoods, moringa leaf powder. In late January 2026, the superfood trend took a dark turn when a Salmonella outbreak linked to moringa leaf powder swept across 28 states, sickening 65 people and putting 14 in the hospital. 2 brands were implicated. Why Not Natural Pure Organic, Moringa Green Superfood Capsules, and Live It Up, Super Greens Dietary Supplement Powder. This wasn't a minor incident. It was a widespread public health crisis, fueled by a product marketed as a pinnacle of health and wellness. The irony is sickening. People were consuming this product to improve their health, to boost their immune systems, and instead they were being poisoned. This outbreak is a brutal reminder that the unregulated world of dietary supplements can be a dangerous one, and that the superfood label is no shield against contamination. The FDA is investigating the outbreak, but for the victims, the damage is already done. This recall is a wake-up call to be more critical of the claims made by supplement companies and to be aware of the potential risks associated with these products. The fact that this outbreak was so widespread is a major concern. It shows that a contaminated product can quickly spread across the country, putting millions of people at risk. This recall is a reminder that we need to be vigilant about the supplements we take and to do our own research to ensure that they are safe. The companies involved have since issued recalls for their products, but the damage to their reputations is likely to be long-lasting. And the problems with supplements don't end there. Number 3. A sweet deception. Ashfiat Al-Haramain Honey. On February 3, 2026, a product that has been a symbol of natural sweetness and health for millennia was exposed as a vehicle for hidden drugs. Ashfiat Al-Haramain recalled its honey product, marketed for energy support, because it contained undeclared active pharmaceutical ingredients. This is a shocking deception. Consumers, thinking they were using a natural product, were unknowingly ingesting powerful drugs that could have serious and even fatal interactions with other medications or underlying health conditions. This recall pulls back the curtain on a dark corner of the market, where unscrupulous companies prey on consumers' desire for natural remedies, spiking their products with hidden chemicals. The FDA has issued a warning to consumers to avoid this product, but the recall is a reminder that we need to be vigilant about the supplements we take and to be wary of products that make unsubstantiated health claims. This is a clear case of a company putting profits before people, and it's a problem that needs to be addressed. The fact that this product was marketed as a natural energy booster makes it even more deceptive. It's a reminder that we need to be skeptical of products that make bold claims without any scientific evidence to back them up. This recall is a reminder that we need to be our own advocates when it comes to our health. The company has since been fined by the FDA, but for many consumers, the damage is already done. But even undeclared drugs in honey pale in comparison to the filth found in our next recall. Number 2. The Gold Star Nightmare. Nearly 2,000 products contaminated with rodent and bird waste. On January 29, 2026, the FDA dropped a bombshell. Gold Star Distribution was recalling nearly 2,000 products after an inspection of its warehouse revealed a scene straight out of a horror movie. Rodent excreta, rodent urine, and bird droppings were found throughout the facility, contaminating a vast array of products that are staples in American homes. The list is a who's who of pantry essentials: Cheerios, Pringles, Nutella, Gatorade, Coca-Cola, Heinz ketchup, Crisco, and even over-the-counter drugs like Advil and Tylenol. Now, the potential for widespread illness was enormous, with the risk of both Salmonella and leptospirosis, a serious bacterial infection that can lead to kidney damage, meningitis, liver failure, and respiratory distress. This wasn't just a recall, it was a public health emergency, a shocking expose of the unsanitary conditions that can exist in the food supply chain, and a terrifying reminder that the brands we know and love can be tainted by the most disgusting of contaminants. The company has since been shut down, but the damage has been done. How many people have been exposed to these contaminated products? This recall is a wake-up call to demand more transparency and accountability from the companies that store and distribute our food. The fact that so many major brands were affected by this recall is a major concern. It shows that even the biggest companies can be vulnerable to contamination when they rely on third-party distributors. This recall is a reminder that we need to be vigilant about the companies we do business with and to demand the highest standards of cleanliness and safety. The images from the FDA inspection are truly stomach-churning, and they serve as a powerful reminder of the importance of food safety. And the most chilling recall of all is our number one spot. Number 1. A life or death malfunction. Freestyle Libre 3 and Freestyle Libre 3 Plus sensors. In early February 2026, the FDA issued a Class 1 recall for a product that, for many, is a lifeline. Certain Freestyle Libre 3 and Freestyle Libre 3 Plus sensors, made by Abbott, were recalled because they could provide inaccurate glucose readings. For people with diabetes who rely on these devices to manage their condition, this is a life or death issue. An inaccurate reading could lead to a patient taking the wrong dose of insulin, which could result in a medical emergency, coma, or even death. This recall is a terrifying reminder that our increasing reliance on technology for our health can have devastating consequences when that technology fails. It's a chilling example of how a flaw in a tiny device can have a massive and potentially fatal impact. The company has since issued a software update to fix the problem, but for many patients, the trust has been broken. This recall is a reminder that we need to be vigilant about the medical devices we use and to demand the highest standards of safety and reliability from the companies that produce them. The fact that this was a Class 1 recall, the most serious classification, speaks volumes about the potential danger of this product. It's a reminder that we can never be too careful when it comes to our health. This recall is a reminder that we need to be our own advocates when it comes to our health, and to demand the highest standards of safety and reliability from them. Companies that produce the medical devices we rely on. The company has since been hit with a number of lawsuits from patients who have been harmed by the faulty sensors. The lawsuits are still ongoing, but they could have a major impact on the company's future. With all these recalls, it's more important than ever to stay informed. Here are 4 ways to keep your family safe. But first, if you feel enlightened, hit that like button and subscribe for more food investigations. Also tell me in the comments, have you been affected by any of these recalls? Now let's talk about how to stay safe. Safe alternative number 1. Check the FDA website. The FDA website is the best source of information on food recalls. You can sign up for email alerts to be notified of new recalls as they're announced. Safe alternative number 2. Check your pantry. If you hear about a recall, check your pantry to see if you have the affected product. If you do, don't eat it. Throw it out or return it to the store for a refund. Safe alternative number 3. Be wary of promotional products. The M&M's recall is a reminder that repackaged and promotional products can be a source of undeclared allergens. Be extra careful with these types of products, especially if you have food allergies. Safe alternative number 4. Report problems. If you find a problem with a food product, report it to the FDA. Your report could help to identify a problem and prevent others from getting sick. Thanks for watching. If you found this helpful, hit that like button and subscribe for more food safety investigations. And let us know in the comments, what do you do to stay on top of food recalls? We'll see you in the next one.